Hi folks, we're here outside of Belvale police station here in Liverpool. The scene of something quite hideous that happened to Peter here. Peter's going to tell you a little bit about what went on. So Peter, can you tell us what happened?
Yeah, around the election time when we were canvassing for the local elections, we took it on ourselves to distribute, not under the party, under our own personal concerns for this particular issue, which was the Labour25. Now we went around the areas in Highton and Knowsley distributing these leaflets, and we happened upon one of the Labour candidates for that area, and he approached us and started asking us about the leaflets that we were distributing, which we actually given one. Anyway, within half an hour, we had police come down and arrest us.
These are all proven cases, aren't they? There's no lies here, is there? This is all fact.
This is all fact. When we were taken into the police station, we had actually begged them to get us into court so we could bring all this evidence to court. I ended up in the police station for must have been about 14 hours, but during that time, I ended up between 6 and 8 hours in the hospital after what they'd done to me.
Yeah, it seems like a pretty damning thing to happen to somebody, and obviously they've taken advantage of the situation there. We've got MEP Nick Griffin here as well, and Nick's going to give us a few comments on this whole thing here. So Nick, what do you think about this then?
Well, first of all, for anyone who hasn't heard of the Labour25 sort of, internet campaign that's been going on, this is about Labour voting paedophiles. I know, looked into this, we've had these figures gradually building up for a long time. They're all genuine, they're all proven, they're all convicted. And the idea that someone can be harassed by the police, let alone arrested, and then physically assaulted for just pointing out that this sort of thing is going on, and the Labour Party has these people in its ranks, and that there's a serious degree of sympathy for paedophilia within not just the Labour Party, but within the entire political establishment. Hence, for instance, the way in which they lowered the age of consent to 16. People say, what's got to do with paedophilia? Well, until they did that, they customised the law so that ageing politicians can bugger vulnerable 16-year-old rent boys, and it's legal. So one day it's paedophilia, they changed the law, it's no longer paedophilia. And they all did that, virtually all of them voted for that, so there's an innate inherent sympathy there. And it's reflected the entire establishment closed its ranks. Now, one thing that's I think some of the people watching would be interested in. Peter, tell us a bit more about. You say you ended up in hospital for some hours. Why? What did they do to you in this place?
Well, what happened was we weren't charged. It was actually me and my brother who ended up in custody and in the cells for that period. But when it comes to taking DNA and fingerprinting, they told us that it was legal for them to be able to do that. Well, as far as I'm concerned, I'm not a criminal. I uphold the law. I'm a law-abiding citizen, and they had no right to do that, and so I refused. And with that, I was actually almost tortured. I had to go in and get x-rays, so I was in hospital for 8 hours. They also cracked my ribs. Well, I don't know if they cracked or bruised, but they were certainly bruised for a week, 2 weeks.
So were they kicking you, punching you, or what?
He actually, it was stamping on my face. He almost broke my jaw. He actually took my jaw out of line. But there's an investigation going on for that particular chief inspector, which was he was in charge that day.
How many of them were attacked?
It was between 5 and 6, maybe 7.
Right, Nick, so, I mean, quite a revelation there. And I mean, Peter did this, he didn't do it under the mask of the party. He's wore a different hat, and he's done it as part of a concerned member of his community and society. So, it's interesting to see that as a member of society, not just as the party, he's getting persecuted in such a way as well. It makes you wonder where the persecution will stop, if at all.
First of all, it's a symptom of how out of control the police force is. The judiciary is out of control as well. The judges are now making our laws, not Parliament. and the police are making it up as they go along. And this is something which has to be opposed and exposed.
Lovely. Listen, Peter, thank you very much for your time, and thank you as well, Nick. Hopefully this will help get our message across for this fantastic issue. Thank you very much, everybody. I hope you've heard us okay there. And this is me clocking off from Belvale Police Station here in Liverpool. Thank you.
Members of the police service, subject to the complaint is predominantly the sergeant, did you say, when we spoke briefly?
Predominantly the sergeant, yeah. 4518.
4518, let's see. Is there anyone else you wish to...
Yeah, I only got his because he was the most...
There were 4 people in the room.
There was more than that, actually.
Oh, there were 5 people in the room then, probably by this. Jeff, there were 5 people in this.
There was more than that, actually. It's getting videoed anyway, doesn't it?
Of that room.
Oh, that's convenient.
Well, purely and simply the reason for that being is that when we put our systems in about 10 years ago, the multiplexes would only take so many cameras.
Oh, right.
So the vast majority of the cameras are actually on the bridge and corridors.